Anyway, hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 6. I think we're at of We Should Be Writing. We're not, clearly, because we're here. I am joined once again by the lovely Ali Root, and is now appearing as Weary Cow, but Leah Goodwin. But just feel free to call her Weary Cow because we do.
Did anybody explain why she's called Weary Cow? Not that we've just insulted her and that's what her name is now.
You should explain the name change.
Yeah.
I think you pretty much insulted me in Nottingham and decided I needed a whole branding doing. And
no, not at all. I think we need to rewind that a little bit and paint a picture of a sat. So we went to Nottingham last month June, sorry. Queer the Shelves, and we all shared a house, which was a lot of fun. And we were in the back garden having a few beers the night before, and we got chatting. And I believe, Leah, it was you that started the conversation.
I believe it was Leah that brought
people's
it up.
names have meanings.
Yeah. No. So, I think somebody else started. My name means, and Ali went through her whole beautiful name.
I didn't know what my name meant, actually.
Wow. Who was it? It wasn't me.
It was you.
I don't think it was, mate.
Well, anyway, my name meant noble or nobility, so I was like, oh, lovely. Claire, what does yours mean?
Mine means light in French. Light.
And then we all sort of looked at Leah, waiting to see what her name meant, and for some reason she was reticent to tell us. Until she then told us that her name meant Weary Cow. So
it's a mixture of like Hebrew and something else, and one part means weary, wild, and then another part is cow. So you guys thought you were highly amusing and put together Weary Cow.
And therefore a brand has been born.
Yeah.
It has. And it's an amazing, I've had a lot of comments on that. I was asked to have, somebody said to have it as a tattoo.
Mode, didn't you?
I should start charging for my my work. I should,
No, I can't afford it. Don't do that.
Oh,
so that's why Leah is now Weary Cow.
Yeah. Yes,
I think is it the Weary Cow reads sapphic or something like that? No, the Weary Wild Cow reads sapphic. I don't know. I don't know who I am.
I think you've gone full hog and adopted all the name meanings.
All of it. We just
created your brand. Yeah. So it's
a very cute cow.
It's very cute
for a weary one.
So after naming that, so we might as well talk about Nottingham while we're here. Then did we talk about it before? I can't remember.
I think we did talk about it, but I think we're going to kind of talk in general about book events because we've been to another one since. We went to the Manchester Indie Pride, which was great, much bigger than the Queer the Shelves event was. Queer Shelves is quite an intimate kind of couple of hundred people, whereas this was a massive big hotel, wasn't it? With
also Queer the Shelves is completely sapphic. Well, no, it wasn't, was it? It had a couple of
it does have a more LGBT label rather than the sapphic label, but I think with Queer the Shelves it tended to be majority of queer the majority of the queer authors there were sapphic, whereas with this it was the opposite, wasn't it? With this I think the majority probably are straight necessarily authors, but they are writing in a queer genre, is what I would say. And a lot of it was, I would say, what would you say, 80-90%?
MM.
Yeah. I think I counted maybe 6 tables.
That were sapphic. Yeah.
So it kind of got us talking because we had a great time, and I mean Ali was the only one selling books at the time. We just were there for the fun of it. But you did do quite well in sales. Like it wasn't an event that you wouldn't bother doing again. But equally, it is kind of like, why are there not more sapphic authors and sapphic readers attending these events? Why don't they know about them?
That's it. And on the flip side also, when we talked to a lot of the authors there, they had no idea about a lot of the sapphic authors at all. It seems like there is this massive divide when it's supposed to be all under one umbrella, which is really quite odd, because I thoroughly enjoyed the event. It was really nice talking to authors I'd never heard of. The event was really well organised. It was a big deal, and I think if there was a bigger presence of sapphic authors there to balance it out, it would be really successful for the LGBT community as a whole. So it was really quite surprising to see that there's clearly one does not know about the other at all, and I don't understand why.
No.
I did find when I was talking to some reviewers and some authors that, again, they were like, what's this? What is it? I didn't know anything about this. And I was like, oh, are you going to Manchester? And like, what's at Manchester?
Yeah.
But a lot of them did that with the Nottingham one as well. It must be really difficult for them to get it all out there or find the right people that can share it between them all.
Yeah.
There were quite a few that didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think with like Queer the Shelves, because it is more intimate and is smaller, it's easier to sort of fill the slots as such with people that Nick and Vic know. So they just put it out on their socials, and they're pretty much filled up quite quickly with it. I don't know that would be the case if they had a hall the size of what that Indie Pride one was. I think that would be a struggle to get people in.
The other big thing that you have to say is that Queer the Shelves was a lot of panels, whereas the Manchester was all about selling your books. There was no panels; it was all about sales and readers.
Yeah.
So that was a big difference.
Yes, absolutely. So I think Queer the Shelves I kind of put more into the convention bracket as such. Like it's an event to discuss writing, it's an event to meet authors, it's an event to listen to authors, whereas this was very much, like you say, it was just sales. It was just like, come down, buy some books. And lots and lots of merch and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And things, like they've kind of developed more into the whole, if you know what I mean. Like it's not just about the book, it's about the characters of the book, it's about selling the t-shirts that go with the book, it's about, do you know what I mean? There's like this whole,
they're selling a brand
for a book, and you kind of like, why is that not really like, I see a few authors in the sapphic world doing it, but like I've kind of tried doing a few things before, and people are not like, my readers are just, it's not something that they really go for. And I think it was quite interesting to look at the kind of demographic of who was at the Indie Pride, because I think it was a very much like almost like a neurodiverse kind of setting. Do you know what I mean? Like it was, and younger people who very much kind of buy into the whole fan fiction and fans like element of things. And so they're looking at these books as almost like, you know, like they would a TV star or something. Whereas I think like for me, the demographic of my readers is slightly older, probably, I don't know, I think most of my readers are above 30. Do you know what I mean? Like probably above 40 even. And I think that generation of people are not necessarily the ones that are going to go to these events. They're not necessarily the ones that are buying into all the merch and to the whole thing of it all. And there are some, don't get me wrong, I'm not making a blanket statement, but I think on the whole, my readers, for me, I don't think are the sort of people that go to all of these events.
What I found really interesting was that I got a few sales off of people that didn't know me at all. They were a lot more willing to go, oh, this looks interesting, I'm going to give it a go. How many people did we have come up saying, right, which one is your favorite, which one should I start with? And that is quite unheard of really online and whatever, you know, because at the moment, I mean, we can go into the politics and everything with the world being on fire. You know, I think readers are sticking with the readers that they know they like, because to spend money elsewhere at the moment isn't a great thing. So that was really surprising that these people had come to pretty much an event and were quite willing to say, oh no, tell me what book you like and I'll buy it, and they were buying it. Whereas at Queer Shelves that didn't happen. The readers that were there were solely there for probably one, maybe two authors that they clearly like. There was none of that I'll give it a go kind of thing. So does that speak to the I don't know if mentalities are quite the right word, but the people at Manchester seemed a lot more open-minded about coming there and just discovering books rather than it being about specific authors. Don't get me wrong, some people there were in fan mode as they should be. They bought the tickets to see that, but it was nice that they didn't just go, that's it, I'm done, I'm leaving. They then went round and started exploring other authors, which I think was really interesting.
Yeah,
but that could be the difference between the events, really, isn't it? It's kind of like you said, Nottingham, people were going there because they wanted to meet a certain author, and that's they were happy to say hi to others, but they specifically wanted to go there because they wanted their book signed as well and they want to buy them.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one, I think, because it was such a mixture as well, they were maybe, like you said, taking the time to go up to other tables and just have a chat.
How do we get it that, you know, the sapphic and the rest of the LGBT community actually get involved? Because this is a massive, especially the UK authors, it's a huge opportunity being completely missed.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why there's not a crossover at all. At all. I mean, it's only since we've got back that I don't know about you guys, but have had friend requests from authors that we met there.
Yeah.
So now that's starting to have a bit of a crossover, and maybe we'll get to see more events happening or something. But it's just an absolute divide.
It's building connections, isn't it? That one, I think. The Manchester one was building connections. I mean, I met some reviewers. I met a couple of guys that, you know, that's what they do. They help people with their socials and their influencers themselves, book influencers and stuff. And that was really nice for me to meet other people who enjoy doing that. And I think it was more, I did feel like I was more networking than doing anything else. It was kind of like, oh, it's really nice to meet you. And then they've added me and I've added them. And
do you think that the Sapphic community is a little bit too insular, that we kind of barricade everything else out and it's just our, you know, our little world?
I think so, because I think sometimes, like, you go on the Facebook groups especially, and you kind of, and even on TikTok, and it's a totally different demographic on the TikTok, but they are very much like, everything feels like it comes from a negative of, what's the one thing, what's the trope you hate, what's the word you hate, what's the most negative, and you just, I like, sometimes I'm like, I don't even know why I bother writing these things sometimes, because literally I can't sometimes find something that you'll even want to read, you know, because there's always someone with something that they don't like, and they're not nice about it either. They're quite vitriolic in some of their responses. I don't know, I can be quite blunt. I am, you know, I tend to say
you, Claire, really?
A little bit, tiny little bit. I do say it as it is. But I think, like, yeah, it just feels, I felt like with Nottingham, people that might have turned up because maybe they wanted to see me or you or whoever, they already own our books.
Yeah.
They already bought them, like, so they're not going to spend money when they get there and buy more books.
Yeah.
And so I kind of think it's like, we as authors almost have to look at it as like, what is this event for us?
Yeah.
Like, is this a sales event, or is it a networking event, or is it just a meet the fans event?
Yeah.
Because they're costly, like, not going to lie, you know, I think we, like you said, we shared a house to try and bring the cost down, but it was still like, what was it, £700 for 2 nights?
Yeah, you've still got petrol on top. We're all coming in 3 different cars. We're coming from different places.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to buy food. You've got to, you know, there's all these sorts of stuff. So sort of between us, I think it probably cost each of us £350 for that weekend. And then again, that's the same at Manchester. But at least the difference with Manchester was you can recoup some of that by the fact that you are selling books. So it's kind of like looking at it and being like, what does this bring to me? Is it worth me spending this amount of money to keep coming to an event where maybe readers aren't even interested in me? Maybe I've got, you know, my ego is thinking that they will be, but they're not there for me.
And also getting authors to getting readers to travel as well. You know, they're in the same boat as having to spend money on petrol and hotels and all that sort of thing. So,
and then we're asking them on top of that to spend money on books. So it's like, this is the thing.
It needs to be a rethink, doesn't it, of how we do these sort of things. I mean, I think if it's something like Manchester, where it is a big event and it's solely reader-based, ticket-based, that sort of thing, yes, I think to travel there and do that is worth it, because you've got the networking with that as well. So that's a kind of bit of a double thing. I think with the kind of things like Queer the Shelves, I think unless you're local, it really should start looking at being online ticketing and doing online panels to bring the cost down for everybody, so that readers can still interact with their authors if they want, but not everybody is spending an absolute fortune to go to something that really does cost a lot of money in the long run.
But then I think the worry with that is, though, if you do that, then nobody will turn up to the event, because you'll end up with just 20 local people there and everybody else sitting online, and it's kind of like.
But like you said before, when you tried to do these sorts of events and that, getting people to travel and getting people to spend the money is nigh on impossible.
It was impossible. I mean, you know, I did South Coast Lesfic, and I think we did it 3 years. So you expect the first one is not going to be great, like people, it needs to get the word out and stuff. But even by the time you kind of get to the second one, and you've managed to get, you know, really good authors, big name authors to attend, to come down, you know, and I picked Crawley because it was central to everything. Like if you're flying in, if you're on a bus, if you're on a train, you can all get there. If you're driving, there was a car park, there was, you know, and it was free. There was no ticket price. It was just turn up, buy some books, you know. And even, you know, for the authors, we picked a venue that was big enough for what we needed, but it was cheap enough that it was only like 20 quid each. 20 quid each. You know, that paid for your table space, that paid for the event to take place. And even then, you still couldn't get more than 20 people to turn up. And no, don't get me wrong, those 20 people spent money and bought books, but it's kind of, you just sort of think, like, what does the sapphic world want? What do sapphic readers want? Because for me at the moment, it feels like we have so many sales, freebies, giveaways, that they're just kind of sitting back and going, well, I don't need to go and buy these books. I'm going to get it for free in a couple of months. It's going to drop down at some point and be on one of these sales, and I'll pick it up then.
I mean, I've had a lot of emails lately that are, there's a sale on here, there's a sale on that. I mean, I think I've had 4 this week. It's like, well, even if you don't particularly know those authors or like them, you'll try them and they'll keep you going until the authors that you really do like drop their stuff as well. So I was like, that's another one. There's another one from somewhere else. Definitely have had 4 this week.
I mean, I've got some books in a sale this week, simply because I need to have some traction on some of my books, because these past couple of months have just been ridiculous. So the books that are not in KU are going on sale for 2 days. And then they'll come back out again, you know. But you kind of feel like you've got to get involved, otherwise you're left behind almost. You know what I mean? But
this
then,
is the thing.
If we keep on doing that, at what point does everyone just go, like you say, well, I'm just going to wait because guarantee there's going to be a sale, or there's going to be free books, you know, and then
I mean, I remember when I first started, I think the only people that were doing regular sales, and it was maybe once or twice a year, was I Heart Sapphic. And so, like, it was a massive thing to get involved in that. And Jay did a giveaway at Christmas and things like that. So they were all huge things that, yes, you got involved in, because they were great marketing opportunities for you as an author, because, like you say, you can give one book away, then you hope that people come along and they read the rest of your back catalogue. And that does happen in a lot. You know, I've seen books recently since we've come back from Manchester where suddenly books from my back catalogue are being picked up, and I haven't sold a copy of them for months. Do you know what I mean? So that it does happen, and like, it does work. But I think, like you say, now it's almost like every single week there's a sale somewhere, or there's a giveaway, or there's a get involved in this kind of thing. And
I Heart Sapphic have tripled their sales now every week, I think, or at least every 2 weeks there is some sort of sale going on.
Or a giveaway, or, you know, stuff like this. And as much as I absolutely appreciate all of the work that people do, and I'm not knocking anybody, like this, we're all in this together, I just find, for me, it is affecting my sales. It does affect my readership, because people aren't picking the books up like they used to now. And then add into that the Amazon catastrophe and Facebook hassles and the AI and all of that. You're just like, oh God, you know, another couple of months like last month, I will seriously be considering getting a job. Do you know what I mean? It's that bad now at the moment. And I hate that the fact that that's all we seem to talk about lately, because it's, you know, I really enjoy writing books. I really enjoy coming up with the storylines, and getting people like Leah excited because there might be an age gap coming, or things like that. But
it don't take much to get Leah excited.
It doesn't. But but it is hard when you've got bills to pay and you've got things that you need to get done as well. And you're trying to like help your friends with their marketing, with their books, and and I've always been one of these people, like, if I can boost someone, I will boost them, because we all started with nothing. We all started as a nobody. Do you know what I mean? And so if you can, get people going and stuff, I do. But it just feels like, there's a real, I don't know what the word, I just feel like there's a real kind of like lull in the sapphic book reading buy-in area that is just, and it's not just affecting me, it's affecting everybody. I'm not sitting here going, because if it was just me, I'd go, oh, that's just because the book's shit. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. It's every single person. It's it's very much I think there's a big issue in America, like with my American sales have dropped from, like, I used to be maybe 75% of my sales came from America, and it's now at 57%. That's a massive drop. Do you know what I mean? That of people that have stopped buying. Now, whether that's because they're financially unable to because of the situation that their lovely president has got them in, whether it's because Amazon are just not promoting us in America because of the lovely president they've got, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, leaning towards that being what it is, because the readers that I speak to regularly are very much like, oh, can't wait for your books, like, so I can't believe that suddenly 20% of your readership have just gone, no, I'm not buying you anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not logical. So it's that thing of like, what do we do as the sapphic authorship to find a way, find the readers who haven't found us?
I really don't know. I mean, I feel like I just can't do anymore. 90% of my life now is marketing, which drives me insane because I don't want it to be that. It takes the fun out of what I do. I want to be writing, I want to be creating. And like I said, we spend our time now discussing marketing, discussing money, because it's a worry for everybody. And I genuinely don't know what to do. I really don't, because I just don't know. I can sit there for half a day and research keywords or research algorithms, or, you drive yourself insane trying to find this thing that everybody else seems to be finding to boost you. And it just, I don't know.
But are they finding it? Are they struggling just as much?
I think everybody is in the same boat.
I think we can all see that in especially Facebook, it's probably about 5 or 6 of the same books getting churned over and over and over again. And I'm not even talking about me, I'm not talking about you, Claire, I'm talking about all the other authors that are still wanting to get discovered. They're just nowhere. Nobody's getting spoken about, nobody's getting shared, nobody's getting, apart from you, Leah, which you're like our trooper. They're all of our stuff.
But then you feel like, I don't want to flood everything, but I'm going to be honest, I will purposely try and find something that isn't being promoted as much. And I've read it and it's a good book, so I'm going to promote it.
And because that's what you are for. That's what reviewers are supposed to be doing, isn't it? It's not, like I'm sure most people go, oh, Leah's promoting them again. Well, she does the podcast with them. She's friends with them. So it's just, that's why. But that's why you need to be doing other people's work. Like, as much grateful as we are for you, we appreciate you can't just promote us constantly, because that just looks weird. But like you say, there are thousands of books out there. It's a massive
some
market.
Amazing books out there,
and there's some amazing authors out there, and nobody hears about them. And like you say,
nobody hears about them.
I think Facebook has become kind of, I don't know, just so like stuck in its ways. Do you know what I mean? Like the groups that are out there have been around for such a long time now that the regular people that are in there are the regular people that are in there, and everybody else sort of fleets in, goes, has a look, and then leaves because they're not necessarily Facebookers, if you know what I mean, like it used to be 2-3 years ago. And so it does, like, so the regulars have their favorite authors and they will talk about them quite rightly. That's what they enjoy.
We all do. We all have them.
Yeah. I think, Meryl Weisner's book, Mistakes Were Made.
Yeah.
That must get mentioned in every single age gap, whatever it is. It's all right. Anyone mentions age gap, that's just straight in there. Do you know what I mean? And it's and Meryl Weiss not even on any of our social medias. It's not like these people are engaging with her or anything like that. She's just written a really good book that's caught the imagination. But I'm sure there are other fantastic age gap books out there, and nobody talks about them or that awful.
I've said a million times before now, I'm a prolific reader. I've come across books recently that I've never heard the author, and the books are absolutely brilliant. Some of them are fantasy, some of them are vampire. It goes all over the place, and they're brilliant. And
she needs a list.
Why is nobody talking about any of this? To be fair, it's like Bloomtown by Ali North. It took that book a while to get the recognition it absolutely should have had, And I was on constantly saying, read this book, because it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But it took a long time to take off.
Yeah.
Much longer than a lot of other books.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's because,
or is it just look? I don't know.
I think because readers are stuck in their ways sometimes. I'm the same. I went through, when I first found everybody's books, I stuck with probably 5 or 6 authors because I knew I liked their books. It was money wise. And then I think you've just got to take a chance sometimes and just think, do you know what, I'm going to try that book. And then that gives you, but they're so set in, that's all they want to read. That's all. They're the same authors over and over again. And like we said, there are some amazing books out there. Like, just give something a chance. Just step outside your comfort zone and don't let other people say, oh, I thought it was awful. We had this, that, and the other in. And then you find people saying, oh, yeah, I'm not going to read that then.
Yeah.
You don't know until you've read that book. You do not know whether actually you might be missing out on something really good there, because maybe a few people have said they didn't like it. You can read reviews. I'll read reviews and go, okay, but I'll give it a try and see what happens. I don't know. I just think they're just really stuck in what they want to read and who they want to read with.
Yeah.
And like you said, they're the ones that are on Facebook usually. They're just promoting the same authors over and over again.
Exactly. But then I look at it and I'm like, okay, so Facebook is where it is. Do you know what I mean? There's an element of, yes, I'm part of this and I like it and I want to stay in here. But then I look at like the other options we have for marketing. And you've got like TikTok. Well, I do this. I can talk to you guys, but I'm not really very comfortable on a camera going, "Hey, buy my book." Like, I just feel it feels twatty to me. And just talking generally about my life as I'm wandering down the street just isn't. It's just not me. I'm like, I've done it a couple of times, felt really uncomfortable. Felt this is just weird, and it's not for me. And it's like it's fantastic that there are people that can sit there and they can talk for hours in front of a camera looking at it and blah, 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 but it's not for me. And so, and also it's a very different demographic on TikTok. It's very much, I feel, maybe, it's hard to judge sometimes because of the algorithm. You look at one video and suddenly you get 50 videos like that video. But it feels very good reads. Very good reads on there. Like they either like your book or they're going to trash it. And there's no in between. There's no you'll get lots of people going, oh, I'm a reviewer. Tell me what books to read and blah, 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 blah. They never pick you up. They are still picking up the books that people on Facebook are talking about. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem to get past that sort of 10 to 20 author names and books.
And I feel like we're missing out on like a magic word or something.
Yeah. And also, we're not saying those books aren't any good. We're not saying those authors don't deserve it.
They're clearly doing something very good.
Step out of your comfort zone and find a new. Maybe that's what we should make it a thing. You go find a new author this month, and we'll find a new author this month. But we're like, we really like that one.
Well, maybe that's something we'll do. Is we'll kind of all find a. I mean, I'm not a big reader, but I do listen. I like audio books, so I'm happy to. I'll do an audio book review type thing of somebody I've never heard of, and you guys pick a book or whatever. We'll have a quick.
I used to do that every month. I used to put out all the books that I'd read. Not necessarily saying which one I liked the most, just all the ones that I read. Because there were some really obscure ones in there, and I got a bit of traction. So maybe I could start doing that again and just just sharing.
I think it's very much about us as well, stepping out of our comfort zones at some point, because it's easy for us to go, oh, I don't understand, why is nobody reading my book? But actually sometimes maybe we're just boring in our marketing now. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the sense of like our marketing is no, but like I say, things have developed and moved on. So now it is a lot of TikTok video. It is a lot of like, I don't know, just finding something different rather than just the memes of this is what my book's about and blah blah blah. Read my book, buy my book, blah blah blah. So maybe it's a case of like all of that. I've noticed, there's lots of book trailers. People are making book trailers now. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's marketing has moved from just a static picture that you post up with here's the details of my book to here's a visual of what my book is. Do you know what I mean? And so maybe it's a case of like, we've got to start looking in that direction.
It gives me a headache just thinking about it.
I've got no clue. It'll be something I will have to pay someone to do. But then you're opening the doors to scammers, because that's all I get in my inbox is, would you like me to make you a book trailer or whatever for £54, and but then you pay me £500 at the end of it. And no. So I don't know, maybe we have to kind of find the things that now people are looking, that it's more visual. It's all reels, isn't it? It's more
reels do seem to get more traction, definitely.
But so
maybe
I think
maybe we should just go on Facebook, on Instagram, and just ask generally, what is it that makes you say, I'm picking that book to read? Tell us.
I agree with that. But again, what you'll get is your readership telling you what you're doing is fine because they're happy with it. It's getting into, you've got to find the people that are not part of your readership to ask them, what would make you pick my book up?
Well, I suppose that's where you get the hashtags on Instagram, isn't it?
Absolutely, exactly. It's all these things. Like I say, it's finding these extra things that we're not doing that clearly we need to be, and working them out.
To sit right in my little writing cave, and that's it.
Exactly.
That's all I want to do.
100%. That's all I want to do. I don't.
If writing control and not worry about anything.
Yeah. If I could do that, my little brain would stop waffling on about other stuff, and I could get editing done. Like I'm supposed to be editing now. Sorry, Linda. but it's, I'm finding it really hard because my brain is elsewhere. My brain is like, oh God, no one bought a book yesterday. Oh God, your page views are down. Oh God, you've got that bill to pay. Oh no, this has happened. Do you know what I mean? So my brain is on that rather than just sit there and get 50 pages edited and then you can have a break. It's like, it's really struggling to I've got to sit here and do this.
I've definitely got a creative block at the moment, which is why I said I'm not writing anything until you come over, because with me just on my own, I cannot focus. I cannot get any ideas to come because my brain is so preoccupied with other shit.
It's difficult because, again, like you say, there's so much going on, isn't there? There's so much going on in the world, and we're trying to adapt to it. We're trying to kind of move with it. But I think, for me, I'm an old-fashioned, just write the book and post it, like get it out there and it'll be fine. I'm catching up with that technology sort of thing of almost like, okay, you can't just rely on Amazon anymore.
No.
Like that's going. Like that's where my drop in sales is coming from, is from Amazon, whether it's them not promoting it or whether it's people are saying I'm not buying from it, or whether it's just, financially it's too expensive, whatever it is. So now it's like, okay, now I've got to go through the hassles of taking all my books down one at a time, changing the ISBNs, turning it into I'm a publisher now. I've got a publishing company.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I'll be sticking that out later. There, you've got some breaking news. But redoing all my books, putting them all back out there again. So yes, they'll still be on Amazon, but I can then go wide, as they say. But then that in itself is just like such an overwhelm for me, because I'm really not good with all this tech. I forget where I've put things. I forget all the passwords. I'm not good at organizing. I'm a really bad Virgo when it comes to these sorts of things. I'm not organized in that.
this is what I was doing at the beginning of the year. So I started the year doing exactly what you're doing. I mean, it's a bit easy for me because I only had to do 10 books. You've got to do like 3 times that or whatever. But it takes time. And I think it took me a good 2 solid months of getting all my books reproofed, re-edited to make sure they were good, getting the ISBN sorted out, understanding what I was doing and where I was doing it, you know. And it takes brain power, like serious brain power. And I was knackered after those couple of weeks. I was, Jesus Christ, you know.
I mean, I will not be doing it as quickly as you are. like it will literally, it may well just be the last sort of maybe 2 years worth of books that I'll do it with, and I'll leave my others where they are just for now, because like you say, the idea of doing nearly 40 books, that's quite overwhelming.
Well, I only took 3 or 4 wide. I didn't take them all wide because I just looked at which ones weren't doing well on Kindle and thought, right, I'll just take them out and we'll see what happens. And it is definitely a long-term thing you've got to be looking at. It's the long game. It's not something that I'm just going to go wide and everything's going to be fine. No, not at all.
Absolutely not. But it's just like you say, it's just giving you a different avenue so that if the Amazon issue gets worse and worse and worse, you hope that those people that were buying on Amazon are now going to move to, I don't know, Kobo or somewhere. Do you know what I mean? And you can at least be like, I'm here. And I think that's all we can do as authors is make sure that we're available elsewhere. But, you know, but then it's like, even with Audible now, that started with, you know, it's just like, I've got to do that as well. I've got to take all my books out of Audible and put them wide. And you're just like,
well, so Mob Seduction, I used Author Republic for the first time, and it was quite easy to set up and everything. So far the people that you need to email are really responsive and whatnot. What I'm struggling with, and which it's starting to annoy me, is the distribution. How long it is taking the audiobook to be distributed and put live on other websites. It's still not in Audible, which really irritates me. It's on audiobook.com, and I've got codes for that, and I've sent them out to certain people, but it's still not on Audible.
That is frustrating.
That's irritating because this is taking a lot of time to get it to go live.
Have they explained why that is, or is it an Audible?
Not yet. It says that the links have been sent out, so everything comes up green that it's been sent out. And they're saying, oh, if you don't get a live link, it doesn't mean that it's not live. But I keep on going on Audible, putting the book in, and it's not there.
It's not there.
Now, whether this is Audible just being a pain in the arse, I don't know.
This is what I'm thinking. Is it a case of Audible going, well, up yours, you've took your books away from us, so we're going to make you wait?
But then what do I do? Go back to Audible where ACX is now just
paying rubbish,
paying you nothing.
But that's kind of what they're hoping for, though, isn't it? It's too much hassle, so I'm just going to leave it there.
And this is
I don't really worry about audio sales because they're so minimal to me. I'm just like, whatever. So I can put Mob Seduction in there, leave it, and see how long it takes for it all to come wide. The biggest thing I want to see is that Authors Republic offers you 80% royalty. That is massive. You know, when you're getting either 20% shared royalty from ACX or 40% through being exclusive. So 80% is massive when it finally actually gets distributed around, you know. So I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to do any more audiobooks until I see what happens with this, because I don't want to give ACX my money if they're just screwing us over for the bigger fish. Also, I don't want to then spend money on Authors Republic if it's taking 6 months to actually do anything, you know. So that's a waiting game for me completely now.
And this is the frustration, isn't it? Because obviously we have a lot of readers who are not readers. They are audiobook fans. They're waiting for the books to come out on audio, you know. And I was the same as you. I took a big long break from audios because it was a weird one. Like when I first started, it was amazing. It was like you got all these codes, and when you handed them out to your readers to listen to, you still got paid for them. And then once you'd handed those out and they'd all been accepted and used, you got a load more codes. So you could literally just keep handing codes out. I mean, I used to run a sort of a monthly giveaway on codes because they actually worked for us. You know, we were getting paid. I could make more money in giving those codes away than I did in selling books.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And then Audible went, right, we'll still give you the codes, but we're not paying you for them anymore.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, fair enough. Don't like it, but fair enough. But it was a massive drop off.
Yeah.
So you kind of went from, I don't know, as an example, let's say you earned £1,000 a month on Audible to like 300, like straight drop, just like that, because the only people that actually can afford to buy the book is the small minority. Most people that listened couldn't afford to buy the books, because Audible is quite expensive still, even if you're
maybe maybe the opportunity for authors, especially with ACX like dicking most of us over now, to actually be promoting somewhere like audiobooks.com, a different place where audio readers can go and find books. It's not just Amazon. There is that want out there that a lot of people are not happy with Amazon, but Audible has always been, like
the go-to, isn't it?
Go-to. But like on Authors Republic, I got audiobooks.com went live straight away. My book is out there. I got 100 codes for it straight away, and people then go and sign up to this, and hopefully they'll realise that all the books are on audiobooks.com, and they can have credits just like Audible, all that sort of thing. So I might push that a little bit, I think, and try and get a bit of an awareness out there.
Yeah. I think this is what I was saying about, we as authors have to look outside the box, and we have to start doing things differently to how we've done it in the past, because clearly what worked in the past is no longer working.
No, it's not.
And so, and there's a whole new generation of readers out there that want to read slightly different books, and that's hard as well, because you're kind of like, I don't know about for you, but I write the books, the story that comes to my head, and I just write it. And I don't really think about the idea of writing to market as such.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, because if I did, I'd just do age gap all day long, because that's what sells. And I'd start doing fantasy, which I'm not. I don't have the ability to do fantasy. So it's like we have to roll with it as well.
Yeah, because some of our readership will go, I really love that book, not quite that one because it was a bit too different for my taste and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I certainly could. It's just how I write. That's it.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well, because in that sense we have readers who like it like that. Like, they like the fact that we are all over the place. Whereas, like you say, if somebody only reads age gap, they'll pick up our age gap books, but they'll go, not for me, and they won't read the rest, and that's great. But I think, they say, don't they, that you find your own audience. And so, yes, we will find our audience. But I think, like, there's a lot of when you read in, like, the comments on some of these, like, what's your favorite trope or what's your least favorite trope, it's very clear that I would say the younger generation have a very different view on relationships and on what is morally okay or not okay. And I think a lot of them would struggle with maybe some of our books, because we like to hit some of the sort of harder talking things, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, I don't think anybody will read a book that has any form of cheating in it that's glorified. Like, if you glorify character cheating, it's not popular at all, right? So there's certain things we know that we can't write, and that list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger the younger your audience gets of what you can't write. And that for me is a struggle, because I write about real life, and real life is not fairy dust and happy smiles, and it's shit half the time. Do you know what I mean? And people are coming up in relationships that are not fun, and I will write about those people. I will put those characters in my books. I like flawed characters, because I think we're all flawed. There's no perfect person out there. But I just don't know.
But I also think if you're writing those characters, you're usually writing also how to deal with that situation.
Yeah.
So it's all right them saying, well, I don't want that in the book. But as the book goes on, it tells you how to adult and emotionally deal with what's happening. You're not saying we're accepting that. Those things happen. I'm like you. I can't read books that are too cheesy and everything. They always know how perfectly to talk to each other, and they understand each other. And they can evolve that way and learn, okay, I shouldn't have said that. I need to think about how I'm talking to people. But life is not black and white. I want proper books that reflect what
I
actually
think
happens
some
in
people want the
relationships.
Hallmark books. Some people that is their go-to Hallmark
Mills
thing.
and Boone, off you trot.
Yeah, that's great. But I would say the English sense of humour and the English way we're brought up in that's no. We look at it and be like, no, that don't happen. No,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You that's how we're brought up. So I think we're not Hallmark people. You know what I mean? And I say that as a bit of a whole. I just don't think that's how the English are, or British, or whatever.
I don't think it's realistic, and then you can't deal with what's happening in your life, can you? If you're reading that book and going, oh, that's how everybody lives behind those closed doors, these people, and I should live this way, and you're like, fuck, mate, you've got a shock coming because that is nothing like, and now you don't have the coping skills.
I think a very interesting way to look at it is look at soap operas, right? So if you look at American soap operas, they are generally based around rich people living the dream. They have got cars, they've got money, and yes, they have cheating people on it, and they have murder, and they have all of that on it. But it's very much an unrealistic fantasy life. Whereas when you watch British soap operas, like EastEnders and Coronation Street,
dirty and messy, and
it's a full-blown view of what life is like to actually live. And so, like you say, I think when we look for entertainment, we are entertained by life that happens around us and how we like realism. I want to hear people swear. I want to know that that person that they're out like doing a bit dodgy, like, because we'll know someone down the pub if you want to get a few off the back of a lorry type things, who to go to. Do you know what I mean? Like, those people exist, they are real, they are in our lives. But we're with the American market, the way that America is sold entertainment, it's sold it as being this fantasy life, this fantastical, everybody's amazing, everybody's pretty, everybody's brilliant, nobody struggles kind of thing.
And if you're not, you're failing.
And if you're not, you're failing. It's a terrible existence, and you're the bad guy, or do you know what I mean? Like, it's. So I think like maybe that's part of the crossover with American readers, that they can sometimes struggle with our English written and sarcasm. And they're very. I found it like where most of my editing have been American. I've had American editors, and a lot of the comments that I will get are often because they want something explained more, and I'm looking at it like, but it's there. It's all explained. It's just read between the lines. But I don't think American people can read between the lines all the time, and that's a blanket statement. I don't mean everybody. Obviously, some people can. But I think on a whole, there's a lot of readers around the world who struggle with read between the lines. They need things really clearly written out for them. But if we start really clearly writing everything out for them, the rest of Europe goes, "What the hell is this? Why are you
over-explaining everything?
Why are you going over the top? Why? I don't need you to tell me that. This is show, not tell." Like, I'm just like, you can't. You're like, I can't read. Like, I don't know what to do.
Then it comes across well, why are you talking down to me? I understand that. That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
But how do we take everything we just talked about and turn it into a positive way to market our books?
Magic book about that thing.
Oh dear. But anyway, enough of that, because we'll be here all day. Let's move on to something more fun. What's Leah been reading?
Oh wow. So very, very, very slowly, I have been working my way through Lexa Luthor's last in the series. I don't know if you can see that very well.
That's why it's very, very slowly, is it? Because you want to keep
it's the last in a 10-book series. It's called Running Up That Mountain, and it's part of the Alpha God series. There's 10. And then on her website, she's got short stories as well. So you've got Cal. Cal is from another planet, Kandor. She's the. So each. Let me explain this, because I'm not going to do this very well. I'm sorry, Lexa. I apologize. So Cal, in her body, has taken on the spirit of the planet. So basically, the thing is that each planet has a spirit. It's like we have God.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. But on their planet, one person is chosen, and they take on part of the spirit of this god.
Okay.
Then you've got Charlie. Charlie is from Old Earth, which don't really want to give too much away. It explodes. And the Earthlings.
I'm not going to give much away. I'll give it all away.
Sorry. It's in book one. It's fine.
I'll just it entirely.
They like a group of them nip off basically. So they do like an arc thing across the planet, and some of them go off. They end up on this other planet. So it's all about Charlie is a mercenary, and she ends up going to work for Cal, who is like she runs the whole planet. She's in charge. But it's an amazing series because it's world building.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've messaged her and I said to her, actually, in this one I said, how do you come up with even the technology? Like, I mean, it's in depth.
Yeah.
And you just kind of sit there going, how the hell? What research can you possibly do?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I could do a bit of research on some of the tech that is similar to ours. And then obviously then it evolves basically. But I've been reading this series probably for the last 2 years because Lexa doesn't write books continuously each year. She likes to tease us a little bit, so they come out a little bit longer, so you can be waiting for them.
Yeah.
But I just love her writing. It's amazing. She's got a few other series as well. But yeah, it's the last one. And she was like, have you still not finished that book yet? I was like, no. And I did something I've never, ever, ever done before in a book. I went to the end.
To see if it was bad.
Yeah, I was like asking her, she's like, I'm not telling you, mate, I'm not telling you. And I was like, right, fine. So I went to the end and I had to have a look. I told TJ Dallas this as well because she's been reading him. I was like, I've never done that before. I said, but I need to know how traumatized I'm going to be. Because there's a war basically going on toward, throughout a couple of the books. And I was just a little bit concerned about who she was going to kill off and she wouldn't tell me.
Wow.
So yeah, I love it. Absolutely love that series. And also, I've been tied me over in between reading Love Me Not by Eden Emery.
Okay.
I've read her book, so I can't remember if I read that one or not.
I'm going, judging by that cover, it looks like filth. Is it filth?
Actually, not as filthy as I thought it might be.
How disappointed is she now?
Compared to the other ones, I mean, it's good filth, but it's not happening as much as I thought it might do. But
fair enough. Fair enough. I prefer substance over,
Yeah, well, we're all different, aren't we?
Good filth is for me better than too much filth.
Oh yeah, it's good filth.
Yeah, that's right then.
It's a trope basically. It's a millionaire. She goes to a BD. She goes to one of the clubs, and they're having. So she basically buys this woman for a night. The woman obviously needs the money for whatever situations, and then she ends up becoming the billionaire's nanny. So it's that kind of, there's all that going on in the background. They've got to try and keep their hands off each other, and clearly they can't.
Yeah, you have to see if I've read this now.
Yeah, I think it's one of the newest ones now. I could be wrong.
There's a copy sold.
Oh my God!
Oh, Love Me Not.
Love Me Not, Eden Emery.
Look at Ali. Oh, a little bit of porn, you know.
Well, you see, look, just goes to prove reviewers work.
I don't think I have.
Get your book reviewed by Leah, and Ali will buy it at least.
Yeah, she'll flip it.
I've not read it, but it's not on KU. That's the only problem.
She's winging it and she's fluffing it, but people might give her a try, you know. Takes me 40 minutes, 50 minutes to write a fucking review. I'm like, I don't want to say this is crap.
There we go. Now,
I knew I'd read her other book.
Put this at an explicit scene on the Spotify now. 18s only on Spotify now.
But she's got two pen names, hasn't she? I think.
I don't know.
I can't remember what the one is, and I know it, but it's like a whole other kind of series. Yeah, I think it's like a dark series. The other one.
Yeah, she did do a dark one that was a bit stalkery in it. That was a bit.
That's going to really annoy me now that I can't remember. I apologise.
I think that's definitely the way forward for me, though. I'm going to start using pen names.
Yeah. Loads of people do it, don't they?
I wish when I'd written The Doll Maker that I knew more about writing and books and tropes and things like that, because I would have done it as a completely different name. Because I think, it's, although there is a romance in it, it's a little bit too out of the romance line for romance readers, if you know what I mean. Whereas people who love a murder mystery are like, this is great, but never found it because it's listed as romance. So it's kind of that thing. So it's going to get a reboot.
I think that's kind of
breaking news.
How I felt about it when I read that, because I'd read some of your others, and then I read that, and I was like, I enjoyed it, but I was like, oh, what? Oh, okay. And I had to switch that side of my brain off and actually focus on what's being said.
Exactly.
Okay, this is totally different.
It's going to get a reboot with it's being edited at the moment, just because I think as well, I wrote it when I was 2 years into writing, and so it's like I feel like there's a lot of things could change in that.
Your skills have developed.
Linda's been through it.
Thanks,
Linda. I've got her stack of books that I need to send to her, just to say thank you for just like turning my books from shit to half good.
I mean, it's a process, but it's one that needs to be done, and I'm hoping, like you say, will be, if I can find the cash to do it, kind of thing, to keep it going with other books, and maybe just to run an eye over, because I think, lots of things get missed by any editing team. There's no book out there that's perfect. But I feel like my writing has evolved, especially in the last 2 years. Do you know what I mean? I feel like since I really focused on like, actually I'm writing for a living now, my writing got better.
So what are you writing when we're not, because we're supposed to be writing, we're not, we're chatting.
So well, you see, because of obviously my last little retreat trip to France, that kind of sent me on a little, I'm going to write a book about going in France. So I've got Je t'aime, actually, which is on pre-order now. It's I'll let Leah describe what it is. She's the only one that's read it. So you've said, and Linda have said, it's quite a gentle romance.
Gentle, it's calm. It's a calm, as in it's boring and slow. I messaged Claire and I went, so the characters are coming across the way I'm actually reading them, which even as I was reading it, it was slowly and calmly and tentative. Not as in slow, I can't get through this. Just when I heard them talking or what they're doing, it was just a gentle, if that makes sense.
I like to think of it as like it's proper romance. They're very much like, this isn't really something like they've literally just met on a plane, coming home from her trip to France and one going to England for business, and they've just chatted and they've liked each other and they've swapped numbers, and then it's very much like, well, this is just a holiday romance, isn't it? So like it's just like, it's just nice to talk to someone. It's just someone who's nice. I'm just enjoying talking to them. And then gradually, like you say, the attraction comes through, and then they're involved in like a long distance kind of back and forth, which is obviously nice sometimes. But then it gets to a point where you're like, I want more than this, doesn't it? And that's the bit where they start to then struggle, because
then they've got obviously their lives on either side that are conflicting with what's happening, which is obviously going to happen.
But
how they handle that.
But I didn't want them to be the couple that's like constantly breaking up, and because to me that's quite toxic, and in a real life situation, like I've been through that, and I don't ever want to go through that again. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I wanted them to be very much like, let's be adults, let's sit down and talk about what is going on, what can we do to change it, how can we make this work, is it worth making it work, should we just end it now, should we just whatever. But having adult conversations about it, rather than just being, I can't do this. Of course, they have the arguments and things, because every couple does, but they then sort them out very quickly. And so it's I really enjoyed writing it, and I enjoyed writing them. Like, I liked them as a couple and as people.
And they both know it's worth trying for. That's the difference, isn't it? Whereas sometimes some of the characters are kind of like, they don't really put all the effort in. These two know they have to put the effort in, otherwise it isn't going to work. And do they actually want it not to work? No, they do not. They care about each other, and they can see this going the distance. They just need to figure out how it's going to go the distance.
Exactly. So I'm hopeful. I've got to get Ange to do a French check just to make sure, because I just used Google Translate for that. I was like, how do we say this? So we'll see how good Google was with that.
Yeah.
Linda was no help speaking French. I mean, I don't know. We haven't edited.
She's like, look, American, English, now you want French out of me.
I don't know, but yeah. So that's the big story, and then I've just got like 2 or 3 on the go, really. So I'm kind of back into that mode of just having loads.
And also, you and Charlie promised me last night there was an age gap coming. So, and Ali was asleep.
Ali was asleep. She slept all through that conversation. Yeah, no, I've got started the 3rd in the Chances collection. So I know it will be called Chances Are. There you go, because I couldn't think of anything else that had the word chance in it. But there we go. Chances Are. Yeah, answers on a postcard if you've got more suggestions. And that's going to be about Allegra, who was very bit part in the first one, but then she was a bigger part because she's sort of Sammy Joe's best friend in the second one. So it's going to be her story in the third one. But yeah, that's turning into a bit of an age gap. So it didn't start off that way, but that's how it's going. So
well, I'm going to adapt one that I started to an age gap because I can, so I will.
Yeah, she can. So yeah, I did have a sexy one that's sort of a bit more BDSM, but I've kind of got stuck out of that one because it's not really me, and I'm a bit like, I don't want to muck it up and do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Can you tweak it slightly?
I don't know. I think that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to tweak it so it'll be a little bit less BDSM than what it started off as. Maybe. BDSM. Yeah, it's a bit kinky, maybe. I'm a bit. I don't know, but yeah. But Ali, what are you doing? What are you writing now? Because you said you're having a little break.
Yeah. So obviously went to Manchester and everything. So me and Ange were in the UK for a good couple of weeks. So. Before that, I just finished 2 books back to back and fried my brain completely. And to the point where I spoke to Leah about it. I didn't know if this 3rd book is something I wanted to publish. I was just so like, I just don't know. I'm now rereading it. I started today, I'm rereading it, and it's not as terrible as I think.
Hey! Good times, everybody. Good time.
Yeah. You get to the end and you think, "Oh, this is just shit. This is just."
Well, that's the problem. I'm going into it. So, like this week, I'm easing back into things. I'm going to read through this book, see how it is, then send it to Leah. Wait for her to tell me if it's shit or not. And then I've got a couple of other things that I'm working on that I'm not telling anybody. And then I don't know. After that, I've got about 3 books on the go, and the one that I'm going to turn into a age gap. I think I'm about 4 chapters in, so I could probably jump back onto that and get on that. So I'm just sort of, I'm so far ahead now. I can just sort of step back and just calm down.
You're amazing how you do it. I just can't focus that. I mean, my focus is hard enough trying to get the one edited.
It's borderline obsession.
Yeah.
And not in a good way, because I literally finished writing the end of one and I've got it constantly going around for my next one. And if I don't start writing it, I go insane. So which is why I'm just writing.
Yeah. Whereas for me, I kind of like, I write so far and then I get a bit like, oh, I don't know what to do with them at the moment. And I'll leave it for a day. And if I don't have anything come, I just like push that to one side, start another one, because there's, like you say, there's another story there itching to get out, so you just get it started, and it's like by the time that first one goes to editing, the other 3 are on like 20,000 words, 15,000 words, 10,000 words.
So I mean, so
and
like
then the cycle just carries on.
Well, I've got 4 for next year written, but that doesn't include a Christmas one, and I like Christmas ones, so I need to now write a Christmas one, which then will bump one of the ones for next year into 2027, which Leah's not happy with.
It's just mad. It's just mad.
I can't do, because a friend of mine was like, just release them. I was like, no, I can't. I cannot just go, finished it, release it. No, I've got to have a very specific plan and a strategy of, I need that time. And it costs money for every single book, so I can't afford to.
But I think that's the point as well for you, marketing wise. You don't want to flood it where everyone goes, "Oh God, not another Ali Root book."
You don't even give yourself time to properly market, because you've finished one. Oh my God, I've got one coming out next month. It's just no, I can't do that. So I'd rather say I've got books up until 2029 than say I'm going to be putting one out every month. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What's your newest one coming out?
Well, I've got a Christmas one coming out on when's that coming out? 2nd of November. Looking at the calendar.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for my cover to come back for that one, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's a novella one, but no, I enjoyed that one. It's quite a fun one. And then next year I've got to decide my order of how I'm going to have things. I was going to bring out The Admiral's Daughter, but if I've got my other 3 that I've just finished, and then I want a Christmas one, that will bump Admiral's Daughter to 2027. So I don't know.
Well, people will just have to wait for it. But you have one coming out in September, I believe.
I do.
That's the one I meant.
Welcome to Erotica. We're open. Yeah, I forget where we are. Yes, the house. So it's an erotic tea shop in Oxford. I absolutely love it. I think I love the characters. I love the grumpy sunshine. I think that's definitely something I'd write again.
You're very good at that. Very good.
I quite liked it.
It's the humour that you put into the grumpy sunshine that makes me laugh. I mean, I just sit there laughing. Just like I can literally. There was one point, like where she's crawling across the floor, and I could picture her doing that, and just hear her chuntering as she's doing it.
I laugh at myself. That's the thing. I laugh when I'm writing it. So, and for this one, I've actually had some artwork done for it. And I'm going to do some special bonus boxes and whatnot. Because I really, really enjoyed doing it. It's a bit of an age gap, 10-year age gap on that one.
I forgot there was an age gap.
Yeah, we've got an age gap. We've got sex toys, and we've got coffee shops. I mean, I think
tea shop.
So we've got Trumpet.
Sorry. So I think that's pretty much sells it for most
people.
I
hope so. I put the first 2 chapters up on my Patreon, and I just had someone come and said, I read the first 2 lines, I'm hooked, where's the book? I was like, well, okay then. And it's literally because somebody shouts about crumpets and boobs. So I was like, there we go.
I think
how to hook sapphics, crumpets and boobs. There you go.
It's all good. Yeah. So, well, I think that pretty much brings us to an end because we've been here for over an hour. So
we have. Just to say though, very lastly, Claire is coming over for another writers' retreat next week. So we'll see what we get out of that. She could have come, but she's sorted her life out. So
we will get our work done. We will have so much to do because, like I say, I just bought all these ISBNs and now I've got to do something with them. So I'm just like whatever. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna get everything done. Hopefully we'll have had this book edited and it's gone to Crystal for proofreading, and I can forget about that one and concentrate on the next lot. And then everything will be whatever it is. So
it will be what it's going to be.
It'll be where it'll be.
One more thing from Manchester.
Yes.
There was a table there that Ali and I fell absolutely in love with, had shitloads of merch that was amazing.
Yep.
They are called the Enchanted Lighthouse. And I've been drinking from one of their mugs pretty much the whole chat.
Okay.
I also got this one. I love the colours. The colours just like pop.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And that's where I got most of my fridge magnets and stickers from. They had so much stuff. They do tote bags as well. So
well, I mean, people just need to basically keep their eye open because there may be things like that coming from us.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a winner. I think her name was Sophia that I met. She was lovely. Their table was amazing.
They're going to be also at the next convention, I believe. Just
what the Manchester one or next year?
Well, there's one obviously just the Indie Lit Pop, and then there's one next year. So I think they'll be involved in both.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant. Right. Yeah. Well, lovely. It's been great to catch up with you guys again. Whether anyone's managed to get through to the end of listening to us, thanks very much.
We're not going to moan next month. None of it will be moaning.
No moaning. We just got to take a piss out of each other.
We are British. We like moaning.
We do.
So if there's a subject you want us to moan about, like just
let us
know. Maybe we should chuck some questions out to people. Put that on.
Yeah. Just I think we will be trying to have more guests on as well. Like we will have that organised. So look out for that. And we will catch up with you all later. So say goodbye, everyone.
Toodles.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.